Today, we're going to be responding to the outrage over the California HIV law and the misgendering law. This began as a response to Hunter Avallone's video. However, I'd rather see this become a more general video on these laws, so it will be more impactful to more people. If you commonly watch anti-SJW videos on the internet, and you're here to see the other side of the coin, first off, I applaud you. Listening to the opposition is what inspired me to make this channel in the first place. Secondly, you may have heard, from videos such as California as a liberal hellhole, that both the HIV and misgendering laws are very different laws than they actually are. As I read through the intention of these laws, and the legal precedent of them, start to consider how much evidence it took you to believe these interpretations of the law. Not to make you feel bad, but to attempt to have a higher burden of proof. It's not usually the anti-SJWs lying, it's just that they're not professional lawmakers, and trying to get a video out regularly, which means occasionally the quality suffers. First, we're going to be talking about SB 239, the bill that makes knowingly giving HIV to someone else a misdemeanor instead of a felony. On first glance, this sounds bad, which is probably why it picked up a lot of steam in this community. However, when you look at the justifications for this bill, it makes a lot of sense. An article from Sackby writes, "Under current California law, Rogel, 26, could be convicted of a felony if his partner says he doesn't disclose his HIV-positive status, even if he has taken preventative measures or medication, or if his partner does not get the disease. When antiretroviral therapy is successful, it all but eliminates the possibility that someone will transmit the infection," according to the Division of AIDS at the National Institute of Health, citing a groundbreaking study whose results are announced in 2011. Lambda Legal also says, SB 239 also eliminates the injustices in California criminal law for people living with HIV. Under current law, HIV is the only medical condition that can result in a felony conviction, and individuals with HIV can be subject to longer potential sentences than for certain types of manslaughter. Exposure to all other infectious or communicable diseases, several of them also incurable or potentially fatal if untreated, would result in at most a misdemeanor conviction. Given that HIV is now a manageable condition for people with access to care, it is time to stop putting it in a class all by itself. SB 239 would pull HIV out of its own separate statute and include it in the law that applies to every other serious communicable disease. So this law just makes the playing field equal. Sure, it made sense when HIV was a public health crisis to make spreading it a felony. However, in a world where HIV is easily treatable, why punish these people more than people spreading any other infectious disease? Many skeptics said that it would incentivize the spreading of HIV, but that doesn't seem true. 1/7 of people with HIV have not been tested, and why would they if they risk discrimination and felony charges if their partner says they weren't informed, even if they have a 0% chance of spreading the disease? Next, we'll move on to the misgendering laws in California. Most of this hysteria started when an article by Red State claimed, California has made misgendering someone with improper pronouns a jailable offense. Now, this is confusing. This statement is so misleading. An actual article by Politico explains the fake news at play here. The bill is very, very clear that what is prohibited is the willful engagement and repeated engagement in discriminatory conduct against LGBT seniors. So, if someone makes a mistake or doesn't know what a person's gender identity is and uses the incorrect pronoun, that is not a violation of the statute, Jocelyn said. Willful and repeated violations alone wouldn't lead to criminal prosecution, she added. They would likely be charged with a fine. Criminal charges would only follow, she said, if the violation had reached a level that was shown to cause the risk of death or serious physical harm in accordance with state's existing penalty structure for health and safety code violations at long-term care centers. The sensationalism on the right here is so blatant. This bill is basically only serving to add discrimination of LGBTQ communities in the same category as women and minorities and make them a protected class. So that's about all I got. I could have responded to different videos and stuff, but I just wanted all the facts in one place, so if anyone wanted to go back and look at it or share it with a friend, they could in just under 4 minutes.